Imagine working your heart out, only to have someone look you dead in the eye and lie through their teeth. That's exactly what happened to me when a group of arrogant medical students thought they could cheat, lie, and walk away with a passing grade. They thought I was some young, clueless foreign professor. Well, they didn't know. I had a plan, and by the time I was finished with them, their summer vacations, their grades, and their pride were completely destroyed. If you've ever been underestimated, disrespected, or flat out lied to, and dreamed of serving cold, sweet justice, hit that like button right now. Subscribe for more of the most jaw-dropping revenge stories you'll ever hear. Because this one, oh, it's delicious. So, here's where it all begins. I'm in my late 20s, not even a local in this country, and it's my first year teaching as a guest professor in the medical school. My specialty? Imaging, which means I spend my days teaching medical students how to process images from MRI scans, CT scans, and all the nerdy programming work that goes with it. Now, if you've ever coded before, you'll know coding is like handwriting. Every line has a style, a signature. You can tell who wrote what. But here's the thing. Because of my age, my accent, and the fact that I'm new, some students look at me like I'm an easy mark. Gullible. Soft. Someone they could walk all over. Part of my grading system is 2 written reports, worth 10% each of their final grade. These reports require coding, analysis, and original work. Most students put in the effort. Some barely scrape by. And then there are the cheaters. As I'm grading, I start noticing a pattern. A handful of reports don't just look suspiciously similar. They're identical to reports from previous years. Word for word. Same errors. Same sloppy logic. Just a new name slapped on the front. And the kicker? These reports weren't even good. They were riddled with mistakes. I gave each of them a big, fat 0, and I moved on. But then it happened. One of the cheaters, the boldest of the bunch, spots me in the hallway. With this fake, confident smile, he says, "So, Professor, when are you releasing the grades? I really work hard on those reports. I'm counting on them since my exam didn't go too well." The words nearly made me choke. I knew he had copy-pasted the entire thing. And yet here he was, lying directly to my face with that smug little tone like he was so clever. I felt my blood boiling, my fists tightening, my brain screaming, "How dare you?" But I didn't explode. No, I decided I was going to make this hurt. Here's what I knew. My exam was the last one of the semester. After that, students typically go on family vacations or back home while they wait for grades to post. And, most importantly, they had the right to request a grade review. That's where I saw my opportunity. I entered all the grades into my spreadsheet. For the cheaters, I gave them 0s on the reports. But, just to tempt them, I also calculated what would have happened if I'd given them partial credit. Just enough so they'd barely fail. The bait was set. For everyone else, I actually bumped up the grades. Even if their reports weren't great, if they clearly put in effort, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Effort deserved mercy. Cheating deserved hell. Sure enough, the moment grades went live, my inbox blew up. The cheaters all wrote the same email template, practically word for word. "Dear Professor, I don't understand how my reports only scored 50%. I worked so hard. I'd like to schedule a review." Oh yes, step into my office. But here's the twist. By this point, they were already away on vacations. Some in other cities, some even abroad. They begged me to meet online. "No can do," I told them. University policy requires in-person reviews, and they only had 3 days. Suddenly, their relaxing summer trips turned into desperate scrambles for flights, bus rides, and cross-country train journeys, all just to come sit in my office. And they had no idea what was waiting for them. The normal grade review lasts about 10 minutes. A quick back and forth, maybe a point or 2 adjusted. Not with me. Oh no, I dragged it out into hours. One by one, each cheater sat across from me, smug at first, convinced they could bluff their way through. I pulled out their plagiarized reports, filled with errors, and asked question after question. "Why did you choose this coding approach? Can you explain your reasoning for this equation? What happens if we change this parameter?" They froze. They stammered. They mumbled nonsense answers because, of course, they didn't know. It wasn't their work. And I just kept going, slowly, methodically, picking apart every mistake, correcting them, reteaching a lecture they had clearly ignored. Their fake smiles melted into panic. Their smugness turned into defeat. Some even begged to cut it short. But no. University policy requires we finish reviewing everything. They had to sit there, trapped, forced to relive every single flaw in the reports they didn't even write. It was like watching hope drain out of their eyes drop by drop. By the time I was finished with each of them, they looked shattered, their vacations ruined, their wallets lighter from travel costs, their confidence demolished, and their final grade? Still a fail. I smiled, packed up my notes, and said cheerfully, "Well, I hope you enjoy your summer. See you next year, because you'll be retaking this module with me." The look on their faces? Pure despair. And to me, pure satisfaction. These students thought they could outsmart me. They thought I was some naive, clueless foreigner they could lie to and manipulate. Instead, I turned their lies into their own punishment. They wasted time. They wasted money. They wasted their pride. And in the end, they got nothing but failure. Here's the thing about revenge. It doesn't always have to be loud or explosive. Sometimes, the sweetest payback is simply letting people trap themselves while you hold the mirror to their face and watch them squirm. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button right now. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Don't forget to subscribe, because I've got plenty more stories where this came from. And trust me, you don't want to miss them.